afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your very grateful host, extremely grateful host. And in studio with me, my buddy over there, Lane. What's up, Lane?
Hi, everybody.
Man, so happy it's Friday. TGI Friday.
Finally Friday.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, guys, go check out my friends over there at Indoor Recreation for all your pub gear, for all your, really, really fun, cool stuff, man. You want to build a man cave? Go to Indoor Recreation. You want to build a game room? You want to know where your kids are? Build the game room and build them from Indoor Recreation. They have so much stuff, cool stuff in there. Dartboards. I mentioned pool tables, and if I didn't, I should have. There are so many. I didn't know there were that many types of pool tables, okay? You can get your pool table recovered by them. They'll install. They'll deliver. It is remarkable the amount of just old kind of archive type game stuff. It's really neat, man. So go check them out. Indoor Recreation. Go build that game room today. Go build that man cave today and go build it from Indoor Recreation. Tell my friend Jonathan that Lane and I said hello. Lane said hello twice. How's that?
3 times.
3. Hey! All right, guys, as promised, we will be covering the local LCG budget. That is the Lafayette Consolidated Government budget for fiscal year 26-27. And this is the proposed budget by Mayor President Blanco Boulay. She is presenting it to the councils. The councils are now considering it. This is the time, though, my friends. This is the time. I was silent too much the last 2 budgets. I could have been maybe highlighting some things that we could all rally around. That's my fault, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to be kind and respectful. But I live here too, and I pay taxes, and I about done had it. Okay? So, few little things. Oh, first and foremost, this was not by design, but I'm glad it's happening this way because it's raw. So I'm going to read the budget message, full candor, for the first time. I've not, right? You pulled it up. Lane pulled it up. Well, Lane, you might have to read some of it. But you mentioned something. If you want to know what they really want you to focus on, just go look at the bold.
Yeah.
And that is pretty telling. I will say I'm impressed. The CFO last year blatantly lied. Like blatantly, okay? And so did the mayor president. So I am impressed, and I appreciate, maybe focusing on what you can do as opposed to lying about the previous guys, Joe Biden. All right. What stood out to you, Lane?
So, is it okay if I just read the first sentence?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Now, this is the budget message. The mayor president, I had one, Joel had one, Joey had one, Monique has one. It's just an introductory. I worked personally on mine. I don't know if she did, and if she didn't, whatever. Everybody has their way. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So first starts off with honorable members of the councils. So starts off cordial.
Good. That's a good title. Good salutation.
Yeah. Then it goes into enclosed in the proposed operating capital budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027. The budget represents a continued foundation of fiscal responsibility.
Okay, stop right there. So we'll probably do that, Lane.
Okay.
We might get through 3 paragraphs this show. Is that fair?
That's right.
And then part 2 will be paragraph 4.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And who knows, we might surprise ourselves and get through the whole budget message. But there is so much to talk about. I mean, you got to think about it. And look, let's put ourselves in the council's shoes, okay? The administration has the benefit of preparing this budget. And you got months and months and months that you should be spending on it. So you got all of it, and it's balanced, and it's there. You got your forecasted revenue this year. It's $830 million. If you're keeping track, that's $123 million more in recurring expenses than the last guy. $280 million more in surplus since the last administration. Just throwing that out there. So go back to your message. All right. So continued foundation of fiscal responsibility. All right. Well, let's talk about that. Honestly, how do you explain $280 million? I'm being very genuine when I say that because let me tell you something, folks. If I grew government $280 million in 3 years, I would have had my head on a spike, rightfully so. I would have been so embarrassed. Oh, now, Lane, did I read somewhere about the library?
Yes.
What's in there?
So there's a new library that's going to be built, I believe, off of Louisiana Avenue.
No. Recurring expenses. Wasn't there some salaries?
Yeah, the library that they're building off of Louisiana Avenue, Northeast Regional Library, will be adding 17 new employees. 17 new employees.
Let me just pull up the total employees again. Wasn't it like 2,300? Guys, this is not fiscally responsible, okay? So I'm just saying this with the library, okay? I'm just throwing this out here. Listen, please don't look into this other than what I'm about to say about overhead, okay? I'm just saying the library millage just failed. Is anybody reading the room? Like, if you're going to add LCG employees, man, I love you, library. You know I do. I'm just saying the people just told the government that they're done, at least for right now. You have not proven, and I'm not saying there's not value. I love the library. But it has not been proven to the folks. And you are going to take the budget from the parish and add recurring expenses. Now, this is only 17 positions. Guillory, what's your problem? Well, 17, there it is, 23, 17. There are 2,000, look at this, government growth and staffing, okay? 2,310 employees. That is insane. You want to know why we can't cut grass? You want to know why we can't pave roads? You can't afford it because you're paying all this overhead. I don't know how low we got it, but it was pretty low at some point. I mean, it was close to 2,000 at one point, maybe 2,100, maybe. I mean, and with that, you have long-term mandated liabilities, fiscal liabilities, retirement benefits, things like that. And I loved working with my hardworking LCG employees. Man, most of them really they weren't just leaning on a shovel like some folks thought. I was pleasantly surprised with the hard workers. That's why I'm saying the local governments across our country is where the rubber meets the road. These bureaucrats, they're bureaucrats, yeah, but they're bureaucrats that will typically follow whatever the top says, like the culture. If you got an administration like here locally that has a certain way on how they call people back or treat people, no matter how much you say, no matter how much budget message you write, no matter how many Facebook posts or whatever you put out there, it trickles down. If you got a hard-working executive that like gets up early and stays late and like really like grinding it, man, you're going to see your bureaucrats doing it. If you see someone that just wants to do PowerPoints and not projects, you're going to get a lot of PowerPoint presentations. I thought I was done with PowerPoint when I got out the Army. You brought up a PowerPoint. I said, I'm not watching it. I didn't. Lane had to go break it down. This is why the first time I'm seeing the doggone budget message, I was stubborn like a little kid. Sorry, Lane. So let's keep going here. Am I off here? The budget represents a continued foundation of fiscal responsibility. I don't think I'm being harsh. The first fiscal year, this administration had $50 million more than the previous administration. They chose to fill that with recurring expenses, not projects. Okay, maybe you had a learning curve. Year two, you had $100 million more than the previous administration, and you blew government up. Year three, you have $130 million more, or $123 million more in recurring expenses, which is, by the way, a scary statistic. If we only grew that much in revenue and you raise taxes, that's a sign of a stagnant economy, and I'm very nervous about that. I don't think it's too late to fix it. So, but we'll talk about this and so much more when we get back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting from Cape Hell here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out at rumble.com. Want to see your chat over there. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. Hello to all our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We love you too. All right, guys, man, sometimes, you got a hospital stay. Sometimes, you have a grandparent or a parent or a loved one or friend that just went into the hospital and needs to recover. Well, for years and years and years and years, and still today, a lot of folks just recover in the hospital. And I love our hospitals here in Acadiana, and I think a lot of people do, and I appreciate everybody. But if you had a choice between recovering from your home or recovering from the hospital, you'd probably choose your home. And that's why I want you to consider Audubon Home Health, okay? Audubon Home Health right here in Lafayette, right here in Acadiana. They will provide that hospital-type care, if you're eligible, during your recovery, so that you're at the comfort of your own home. So go give those guys and gals a call. That's Audubon Home Health. All right, Lane, let's continue with I might need to call some help, like Dr. Kevin or something, to get my blood pressure down. He helped me. I was on blood pressure medication. I went to Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic here in Lafayette, 93 Care. But, and now, it took like 3 or 4 months, but something we were doing.
That's great.
I have a nurse practitioner friend that will debate that. She said she had something to do with that. And maybe so. She's brilliant. And if she's listening, she is super brilliant.
Anyway, shout out to this friend.
So we were talking about the Lafayette Consolidated Government proposed budget by Mayor President Blanco Boulay. And it is, let's see here, we're in the budget message, okay? We're in sentence 2, so you can look this up. It's page 37. We did this last year. We did page numbers and stuff. I feel like it's good.
Yeah.
Get a little reference.
Tradition.
Yeah. It's like a tradition.
Yes.
Hey, boy, I tell you what, you should stick around. So school's so overrated. Just come to the Josh Guillory Show. But I'm sure the other two would say the same thing. All right, so look, we're reading this. The budget represents a continued foundation of fiscal responsibility. So let's break that up in 2, okay? So 1 represents a continued foundation. So that would imply that there was already fiscal responsibility. Am I right?
Wait, are you sure she's not referring to your administration when she says that?
Did you drop one of our budgets off over there? Did someone mail her one of our? So, look, all right. Now, Lane, you tell me if I went too far. And then, folks, our phone lines aren't open today, but we'll open back up on Monday. But, am I going too far? I don't think I am. Fiscal responsibility, like, do more with less. You grew government, you grew employees, and you raised taxes, Mayor President Boulay. So where's the fiscal responsibility? Because the only foundation of fiscal responsibility that we have in this parish is the private citizens. That's it. And the municipalities, I'll tell you what, they can't not address the issues because they are seeing a lot more than the mayor president, 250,000 people versus smaller population.
From the government perspective, if you want more tax money, you don't have to raise taxes. You have to have an attractive parish that brings people here, brings businesses here, makes people want to spend money here. Remind me what the nickname of our city is? The what city?
The panhandling capital of the world.
No, the other nickname.
Oh, let's see here. I have nothing on my mind that you would want me to say right now because it's all like sarcastic.
Well,
Hub City?
The Hub City. There we go. I was seeing where we were going to go with
all
that.
I had was hashtags.
Hashtags.
Like you wanted no part of these hashtags.
Yeah.
The audience did, but you didn't. See, that's the thing. That's the struggle we have.
Yeah.
That's the struggle we have with me and my producers. I know what this audience needs. Hey, man, but really, though, foundation of fiscal responsibility. It's not fiscally responsible to have $50 million more than and I'm going year 1, okay? It's not fiscally responsible to have $50 million more than the previous administration and have nothing to show for it. You went shopping at the dollar store with $50 million. You have nothing. You fed your kids sugar for dinner. You have nothing to show for it. Nothing. Homewood should have been done. No, you held on to it and played political games and purposefully, and there might be some more to follow up on that, but purposefully drug your parish in litigation just so you could have the headline before this budget. Now, we can go into that later. If you know, you know. And when we have the phone lines open, call, because I'll be glad to talk about it.
So are you saying you want to describe the way they handled Homewood as fiscally responsible?
My goodness. They had no, it was just, not to judge, but it seems to be morally wrong because they had the money. The parish has the money. Had the money, has the money. We have proven that. It's obvious by now, okay? And they chose not to go and finish Homewood. The way that reimbursement, this is all through capital outlay, this part, from the state. And the way that reimbursement works is the parish or the local government pays for the project and then gets reimbursed. Now, if an administration doesn't know what they're doing or they are acting maliciously, they can have a 3-year gap. Now, you be the judge, because it's either gross incompetence that you didn't get reimbursed in year 1, or you did it on purpose.
So is there any incentive to getting reimbursed later?
No.
Not at all.
And as a matter of fact, it also puts you in bad light with the legislature. It also puts you in bad light with a whole bunch of people. So not to include those poor folks in Milton, okay, that have had to endure the politics of a project that is needlessly political and that helps so many people locally and collectively. And the current Mayor President Boulay ran on the engineering wasn't there, that Homewood was a corrupt project, that it doesn't help anybody. Then why are you asking for capital outlay dollars again? Why are you asking for 20-something million dollars? You already had it, but why are you asking for that? Why? Why? You know why. Because this budget is anything but fiscally responsible, and you need to cover the truth with politics. And that worked well. Got you elected. No one can say that it wasn't effective. I'll be the first to admit. Okay? But governing, you can't always get away with those little lies. Not when people are looking. Who was looking? I like that shot you had, Lane. all our viewing audience, you got a big picture of my skull there. Ooh, scared away everybody. That's pest control. Keep telling people that. All right, let's go back to the message. Anything else? 50 million, 100 there. It's so much. 280 over 3 years. I mean, Lane, am I being too harsh? That doesn't appear to be a foundation of fiscal responsibility.
What just keeps sticking out to me, continuously keeps sticking out to me, is that if we're going to grow the tax dollars in our parish,
yeah,
why not just bring people here? Why do we have to increase taxes? That's just what doesn't make sense to
me. Me neither. And when you claim to be, but look, that's why, listen to me. There's a few politicians out there that I don't agree with their philosophies. Okay? I don't always agree with their philosophies. But I know what they're going to do. It's straightforward. I'm telling you guys, I worked with Democrats. I had 3 Democrats on the council of 10 registered. And they were easy to work with. Even the one that people think, one of them we didn't always see eye to eye, but that's okay. But at the end of the day, we text each other happy birthday. Dude, this is what was portrayed to the public. It's a shame, honestly, because we had a good thing going.
I have one quick question before we move on to the break.
Yeah.
Why is there one of the council presidents a Democrat?
That's a good question. I always ask them, y'all don't caucus. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have a problem with that because they can't, they're limited in their capacity as chair on either introducing things or whatnot. I'm kidding. If any council member heard me say that, they would say, what an arrogant statement. It was a joke. But, local level, the roads affect everybody. Those Democrat council members, they want, I worked with them. It gave me great ideas. I mean, if you knew how much time I spent with Pat Lewis and A.B. Rubin, okay, I learned a lot. Like, North St. Antoine Street wouldn't be going on without Pat Lewis. I had no clue about the North Antoine Street extension, okay? But he brought it to me early in our administration, and I was so grateful. That project it can offer such an economic boom. Why it's not done, you tell me. It's been funded, it's been designed, or the design was starting. Like, dude, we even authorized doing everything short of where you need a permit, so because we, follow the rules. But we we had a design where you do everything outside the permitted areas. You wait for the permit, and then hopefully the timing's perfect. But if it's not, it's still cost effective to do it that way, if that matters. Fiscal responsibility. So I don't know. I think the administration. This is where the council can come in, though. This is where I'm pulling for my teammates. All of our teammates. They're the only ones. Ask the administration. Look, guys, we got to forfeit the $150 million she already wasted because you can't get that back. But this year, it's forecasted to have another $130 million more than the last guy. So I come bearing solutions. All you got to do is introduce my last budget's overhead. That's it. Just do the O&M. Just do the O&M. And then you'll have all this money to do a whole bunch of projects. Okay, now that's going to require some tough decisions. We're going to have, that might require you to stabilize the government, Where'd they get that from? Is that a Bloomberg term?
I don't know. We can do some research on that and really see where that came from.
Yeah, let's look at Bloomberg and we'll get right back. It seems to be one of those bolded things. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Go check out my friends at St. Marie Orthodontics, man, here in Lafayette, Louisiana. They also have a branch office over there in Opelousas. Dr. Stacy St. Marie is one of the nicest people that you will ever meet. He's smart. He has a wonderful staff. They treat you like family. I know that firsthand. I was probably the dad of a patient a long time ago, before I was even Dr. Stacy's friend. And he was always kind then, and he's always kind now. And he has a new dentist that joined the team so they can take on a few more patients. Same lovely staff, man. And those folks have been with him, like, for a hot minute. That should tell you something right there. All right, go visit St. Marie Orthodontics over there. I said a new dentist, a new orthodontist. I apologize. I'm such a lay person, All right, we'll be covering some more of the local Lafayette Consolidated Government budget. A little bit more. Lane, why don't you wrap up the budget, not the budget message. We could spend weeks on just the budget message because I'm having a hard time with the budget represents a continued foundation. That's a bad statement of fiscal responsibility. Where? When you grow government by $280 million, or to be fair, $130 million, that's the recurring. When you grow the government to this point at $130 million and you have nothing to show for it except 200 to 300 more employees and University Avenue, and thank goodness what would have been Bertrand, that's what you have to show for it. Yeah, we're going to have some questions. We're going to disagree with you kindly and respectfully, of course. We're going to disagree that that's a foundation of fiscal responsibility. Carry on, Lane.
All right. Investment in both existing and new infrastructure.
Okay.
We all know how that's going. And turning stability into momentum. Here we go with stability again. You're going to talk about stability. Now their new phrase, momentum.
I didn't catch that one.
Momentum.
Y'all know they wrote this in a lab somewhere before. They had to. I have to understand where they're coming from. Like, we're gonna call him corrupt, and then we're gonna say that he stole money, and then we're blah 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 blah, and then we're gonna use stabilize for the first 2 years, and then now that we're in stability year 3, oh, and by the way, oh man, if nobody really arrests him, we're gonna go and partner up with the St. Martin folks and fill out their vendetta. Now, there had to have been a meeting of the minds. That would make more sense to me. So you get what I'm saying?
What this sounds like to me is that they're making an excuse for not getting anything done the past 2 years. They're saying now we're going to start getting things done. That the first 2 years were just to fix the mess, and now we're here to actually do stuff.
Welcome. I don't know. Welcome to the club. I'm pulling for her. I'm pulling for all these guys because I live here, and I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like the cone, the mysterious cones. I'm at this point, the LCG has no track of what their cones are because all we're the panhandling capital of the world, and now we're about to be the abandoned cone capital of the world. Those poor abandoned cones. You know, for all those folks that identify as a different gender, well, you might have someone identifying as a cone, and you're sitting there, and you're just leaving that cone's family members out and about all over Lafayette, and I don't think that's right, nor fiscally responsible. What do you think, Lane?
No, I don't think that's physically responsible.
Poor cones.
The poor cones, like,
gosh.
What
do cones do to them?
I just feel so bad for these cones.
I feel bad for people driving in a certain area.
We have panhandlers everywhere. We have cones everywhere. The potholes.
Hey, no joke. All right, I'm going to do a public service announcement, okay? Whoever's putting trash bags out where the panhandlers are doing their business, I don't think that's helping. I think that's inviting. Now, that's just my take on it, but I got to give you credit because we're not picking up the trash that much. I mean, if it wasn't for like Parish Proud, no joke, or the sheriff's department, like, dude, it would be bad. Yeah. So, in my, in the same breath, because I don't want to, because I'm in the same breath, I'm going to say thank you for doing it because now that I say it out loud, geez, they're not going to pick up the panhandlers. You might as well put a trash bag out there. So, in the same breath, I 180'd it. You saw that?
Yes.
Now, carry on, Lane. You were doing so good before I rudely interrupted you.
Well, you brought up Parish Proud. I'd like to just say how good of a job they do and how we just really need to give appreciation to all the great people in Lafayette Parish.
True.
All the people that put in so much work to make our community better, make our parish better as a whole, and to really grow community.
Yeah.
Because we have people that are just not doing their job as efficiently or as effectively as they should. And we end up leaving a lot of work onto our nonprofits. And we really have to thank them for all the work they do.
Very, very much so. And I got one too, Kate Anna Pregnancy Center. I talked about them last week. Yes. I just got a message, and you can get on their message, their prayer message group too. A lot of lives saved over there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen that participate and that support it. So, and that's right here in Lafayette. A lot of good, man.
Yes,
a lot of good. Way more good. Way more good. Way more good here than bad.
I don't want to go on a side tangent, but I read this article yesterday about Lafayette that really impressed me.
Okay.
There was a veteran that was at risk of losing his home.
All right.
This was an article by KLFY, and he needed $7,000 to close the price on his home. They put a GoFundMe up. It took about a day, and they had $10,000 already. $10,000.
That is awesome.
From people in Lafayette. It was a veteran.
No doubt.
He was renting his home, and he was working on buying it, and the people that owned the home were adding a closing cost onto it for regulation and just a bunch of stuff. $7,000 closing cost. So he got involved with that local veterans nonprofit. And
come on, title attorneys, help that veteran out.
They put out a news article, GoFundMe. It was $10,000 when I saw last night.
That's crazy, man. See, there you go.
Great people.
Our kindness with the from the community. I mean, without a doubt, man. So I think we have touched on the budget. Maybe we'll come back to the budget message. You can only listen, maybe because the circumstances I find myself in, I just happen to be the last guy in. When y'all know me by now. I just want real. I don't even care if you disagree. As a matter of fact, if you do disagree with me, I'll probably spend more time with you than anybody else. I'm fascinated to hear different perspectives. I really, really am. Doesn't mean I'll agree, but you know, it convinces me every time that we agree more than we disagree. Every time. I encourage everybody to do that, okay? But look, I really can't go more than a few sentences because it's so wrong, like factually wrong, it's such a lie. And I don't know. But I do like to take the data and maybe show some alternatives so that we can talk to our council members. That's the only relief we're getting, guys. You're not going to get it from the administration. You have to talk to your council member. And I'm telling you, I'm vouching for them. Those guys, they work hard. The ones I served with for sure, and the ones that are there now, I have no doubt. All 10 of them probably care so much. Just go talk to them. And you're not, and remember this, because some of them might feel intimidated by the mayor president. I'm not gonna say names. That's unfortunate if that's the situation. But you know, you're gonna be going in there to the meeting or to the phone call with some information. You know that if you just introduce the last budget in 23, 24, just the operating part, because some projects you can't really do the capital because capital is for that year. But adjust it to your capital. Hey, I'd love to see $50 million in capital being done. When? If it's half LUS, go bury those power lines you wanted to do. Don't grow government, and don't grow government and take open checkbook away where we can't even see where you're paying people. Like, that's bad. That's like just bad business. That's just not transparent. So I don't know, and I don't think that's very stable. I mean, I'm trying to meet them where they're at. I guess resilient and what was the other one? Sustainability. Is that in there? Did they make the buzzword? I want to see. You know what we'll do? Let's see on a break if we can find we'll do like buzzword checks, and because this is a good way for the elites and the rhinos and the big government crowd, the Bloomberg crowd. Okay, for those guys to like speak their code. You know, like Big Tent. That's been played. You know, in the closing, future recommendations regarding the sustainable use of fund balance should be considered. And that's from our CFO. Okay, good. I haven't watched her message yet. Maybe she does have a few little surprises for us. I haven't seen it. What you got? What?
Long-term financial stability.
Saying sustainability. Yeah. Okay, all right. I guess, you know, it didn't make as many cuts. 3 this year. But we'll find some others. That's, you know, but it's okay. We'll find some others. There's codes. I saw that in there too. Yeah. Anyway, but look, guys, when you look at the whole situation, go talk to your council members. Talk to them about ideas. Talk to them about building things that help people, because maintaining it has to be factored in to the overall cost, because you got to, like Sidra Wingirter would say, she would not let a director put a capital project if there was not a maintenance plan. Just wouldn't. And we needed her to do that. And, you know, I know that's probably hard to hear of that stabilization from some folks, but, you know, she gave it. I'm getting the hand and arm signals. We got to go. Here in Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasted from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette and on KLFY Plus. Man, let me tell you, we got some good stuff going on in this city, in this parish, as far as the private sector at least. And one of that is Dino's. Go check out Dino's, man. Knockout Pizzas, the pizza of the month. But I love it. Go visit my friends over there at Dino's. So we are going into, we'll try to wrap up the Lafayette Consolidated Government's proposed budget. So, we, what's that?
So, unlike the knockout pizza, this is not good.
Okay, well, I don't know. What are you talking about?
When you go into the budget and you're reading through the message, one of the first bolded items, when things are bolded, they're usually the most important things. One of the first ones you see, Bloomberg Philanthropies Mayor's Challenge.
I see that. Page 37, last paragraph.
Yes. Bloomberg Philanthropies. What have they done? Well, Bloomberg is Michael Bloomberg, former mayor of New York City, and also was a candidate in the 2020 Democrat primary.
Big socialist liberal, wanted to control even your sugar intake, which I'm we all should be, watching our sugar intake, but I don't need the government telling me that.
Exactly.
I don't need the government telling me many things.
Soda's not necessarily good for you, but I don't want big government telling me it's not.
Because if they can do that, they can tell you to not go to church. Look at COVID.
It goes too far.
Man, look at COVID. This is horrible. Anyway, keep going.
If there's anything that looking at big government teaches us is that their priorities and what they decide really show you what's most important to them.
Absolutely.
And whenever during COVID they didn't want us to go to church, that really showed us where their priorities were. It's sad. Well, let's go back onto this topic.
So we're talking about Bloomberg philanthropies. Guys, look, I don't know, and everybody's different, all right? If you didn't know the history of our current mayor president, I mean, she's a lifelong Democrat. This is her thing. And it's okay to be different. I am not mad. I just don't like it when you lie. I don't like it when you say you're one thing and then you're, like you say, Lane, your actions are something else. Bloomberg is not what we need in Lafayette. What the heck is wrong with this situation? Bloomberg is one of the most central government, big left-wing guys. And he has all these programs, these indoctrination programs, okay? And one of them is how to become a mayor. It's a mayor school. I didn't know those things existed, but whatever. And there's two Republicans, okay? Our current mayor president gets elected, and she goes to this. There's two Republicans in the whole big old class. All of them Democrats. Bloomberg, Democrat presidential candidate. And I thought that was a fluke. Like, I even gave her a pass. Like, well, I don't know, maybe she thinks that would help. So I just gave her a pass. But then it's Bloomberg. This ain't the first Bloomberg thing. Now we're bragging about being Bloomberg Philanthropies model city. This is horrible. Lane, what did we Google and Lafayette came up? We screenshotted it, so we have it. But
we Googled examples of liberal policies that Bloomberg helped pass, and the first one that came up was a hyperlink to their plan they helped Lafayette create. You
can't make this up. Like, she is boldly turning us into a way left government. And it's the old school Democrat way that's not in a good way. If you know, okay? Yeah. It's like power just to have power.
Exactly.
I have the power. What to do what? Because it sure as heck ain't to build projects.
Yeah. Well, we have just a couple minutes in the segment left, and let's just highlight some of these things that Bloomberg Philanthropies handles. Some of their core policy focus areas: climate change and energy.
Okay.
Gun control.
Oh, that's what Lafayette. Well, okay. Now let's be honest. She tried gun control, and this is why I want to empower all of our people. Okay, talk to your council members. Mayor President Boulay was about to pull one over on us big time with some gun control. She had the cute idea, and it's cute idea of, the university is now running the Lafayette Science Museum. So, that's a school. Well, there's your gun control, 1,000 feet. Not to mention all the residents. Not to mention there's an actual gun store within that, within the 1,000 feet. Yeah, just
Whoa, I
close
did
that.
not
It's
know
just
about
one business, Lane. It's just one business.
Wait, so the Science Museum downtown,
Yes.
where thousands of people go,
Yes.
all the time,
Yes.
a 1,000 feet radius?
Yes. That's what she wanted. And then she tried to throw the university under the bus. Those poor guys are like, look, we're just running the museum, guys. By the way, that was a wonderful deal. It saved the city general fund $1 million a year after it was a phased-in approach, and it should be now. It should be 100% on the university over. It should be. Well, we got the budget. Maybe we look at it.
Oh, I actually saw they have some money going towards the Science Museum. I heard about this earlier, and they even have projections for if they increase the revenue every year 2%.
Oh, that's just what they forecast. Yeah, real response. Yeah, that's really. Did y'all hear what Lane just said? That's in the budget. That's really fiscally responsible under these circumstances. But look, I want to be positive. I want to be positive here. It's hard to be on that gun control thing. Oh no, it didn't go forward. That's positive. And I think it's because of the folks. I think because we talked about Carol's show and all these other shows. But I'm getting the hand and arm signals, guys. We're gonna take us a little break. We're gonna finish this topic when we get back. Stick around. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show, hour number 2. And we are so happy to be with you. I remain your very grateful host, and in studio with me still, my friend Lane. What's up, Lane?
Hi, everybody.
Man, I got to remind everybody of my friends over there at Giles Subaru. Giles Subaru right here in Lafayette, Louisiana, off of Johnson Street, right by Ambassador Caffrey. You can't miss it. They have a dog park there, open to the public. Man, you see all the commercials with the Subaru. You know you're going to get a great car, great model, have all the gadgets and gizmos. But what separates this place is the Giles Automotive Touch. Okay, so go visit them at Giles Subaru, all right off of John Street, right near Ambassador. They have great customer service. Go see their showroom. They even have a dog park. Go visit them. Check them out. All right, let's wrap a bow on this budget because, you know, we could talk about this for a long time. There's just so much in it. And we'll do our best. Maybe, hopefully not to drown out every program with it. I mean, it's a lot. But there are some things that I'd like folks to know because this is the pivotal time. This is the time to go talk to those council members and you know, just let them know that we have this surplus because they're going to need your help. They're going to need your support. Like we ask our council members to give us cover. Well, it's a strong mayor government. And whether that's right or wrong, okay, because you can do a lot of good things with that because it doesn't delay and all that. You can go help people. But, you know, without us giving them open support, that it's hard to stand up to the administration. So, and everybody's busy. See how this formula works? Like when you pull the curtain back, everybody's busy. Who wants to go to a budget meeting? I mean, like really?
Especially with how convoluted it is. You're reading it; it's over 600 pages. It almost feels like it's too much, and that no average person can just go out and read this and have the time to read 600 pages. If a lot of it's just bloat. Let's just be fair.
Well, it is, and you know what? If you can't go through all of it, which is totally understandable, try your best. And I believe these are on AOC, but try your best. That's a Canadian Open channel. But I believe you can see the briefings, the budget briefing. They're not hearings. Don't call them hearings. Ooh, I called them a hearing one time. That was a no-no. That's against the rules, I guess. So they're budget briefings. And if I got that backwards, Sidra's probably having a nervous breakdown somewhere. Don't tell her. So, but look at that because they go line by line. So you really can see some bloat. I would pay attention to unfilled salaried positions first. I think you could cut a lot out of that budget just right then and there. And they should be doing that. Okay? At the end of the budget year or whatnot, you should have even more of a surplus. There's a reason why our general fund was larger at the end of the fiscal year than what we forecasted. One, that's just right. You know, you under promise and hopefully over deliver. That's the responsible way to do it. But, you know, some of those staff positions, we just didn't fill them. And it, you know, goes back to the folks. You asked about general funds.
Yes.
Something, well, but I forgot your question. Something about 3 times the amount of days or whatever. Reserves. Okay. This is a great question Lane asked. All right. He asked about what's this about the parish reserves? What's this about the city reserves? And if you listen to the council meetings, you'll hear the CFO or the auditor say, well, you have so many days worth of in your budget, in your general fund to operate. And and usually the auditor will say, oh, and that's a wonderful job, no matter what it is. Okay. Here's why I say that. Whatever's in that balance, like whatever that number is, just so you know, it's probably what the auditor said. At least that's what it was, like to pull the curtain back. And maybe that's not fair. I don't know what it was with Joe, and I don't know what it was with Monique. But at least with me, I would ask the CAO and the CFO. I would say, just can you find out what he says? Can you tell me what Burton says it should be? So whatever it was, and I'll give you a great example. The parish general fund, by the way, was forecasted to end at $50,000 doggone dollars the first year our team was in office. Really happy with the council and the administration, like the everybody that did the work. Appreciate you. But anyway, the general fund was $50,000. By year 2, I believe it was, we had it forecasted at, or no, it was over $5 million. So I'm thinking, what? And Gilbo's on my behind about building this roundabout over and over and over. And then Tabor gets on board, and then you know how that goes, okay? and which is a wonderful project. All right. And they're like 2.5 million, and we had 5 million. So the auditor said $1 million. That's where we should be. Well, guess where it was that year? $1 million. Magic. No, it's not magic. You just work with folks. So it's very I'm telling you the inside ball. You see, it's very deceiving when you have a legislator or when you have an auditor or those guys that say certain things that are inconsistent and they get inside politics. I don't want to go on there because I want to highlight some positives here, okay? Positives are we still have enough revenue coming in to take care of all of our basic governmental needs. That's good. Man, there are some cities out there and some parishes and some counties that don't have that wonderful, wonderful luxury. So we do. So that's a very big positive, all right? It seems like, I don't know, man. I was about to say, it seems like our voice could possibly be getting heard, but then I heard some stuff on Bertrand that they're starting that up again. And and ask them. There's open mic night, so I don't know. So I don't want to go there too much, but I do have faith in our councils. And I do have faith that if you go and talk to them, and if we can continue the dialogue and go in there with solutions. So one solution is go back to the last budget of the last administration. I'll concede a point. I've been thinking about this. With the concession of this, all the employees that got pay raises during that time, well, then you could accommodate that, all right? But I got to tell you, you'll still fall under $707 million because half of ARPA, I think, or a third of ARPA wasn't even spent, despite what was advertised. So anyway, a lot more positive out there than negative. I'm gonna stick to that lane. Doggone it. So go fill those blue cards out.
Positive. It's so easy to be negative. Let's just stay positive.
Yeah. God made today to be a great day.
We have to highlight these things that are messed up, but at the same time, we need to highlight all the good that's happening in the world.
Yep. All right, guys, let's move on. Moving on. All right, Bud, I watched this video you shoved in my face in the break. That was priceless, okay? Now, I think you know the players more than I do. We're going to play some audio from this video. Man, this is... Tell me who's the players.
Okay, so in the video, there's this representative. His name is Representative Brandon Gill. He's from the great state of Texas, which is 5 times the size of Louisiana, and it has 5 times less personality.
Yeah! 100%. Yeah! Tell him, Lane!
If you're familiar with a guy named Dinesh D'Souza, that is Brandon Gill is his son-in-law. Then you have this lady in this thing that he's asking the questions to, who's in charge of the Smithsonian, specifically the American Smithsonian, the American History Smithsonian.
Okay, so Smithsonian, you got all these Smithsonian museums. I learned so much about it a few years ago. It's free to go in those. It's my understanding it was when we went in. And that was part of the deal, that the Smithsonian donated all that stuff, and part of the agreement was you couldn't charge to get in, and there would be a place where you can have all the archives. And as I recall from that video, the congressman, he's asking a pretty straightforward question about objectivity, and the poor lady over there, the director of the Smithsonian, is it History or American History Museum? One of those, okay? And he's asking her about objectivity and history, and poor thing, she's kind of struggling with that. So I think we have the video. Let's just play and we'll pause and talk about it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing, and to the witnesses for taking the time to travel all the way out here. Director Hardig, thank you for being here.
Very nice.
That the goal of history, even if it's not properly carried out, would you say that the goal of history is to be objective?
Here's the thing.
No, this is a real delay.
Thank you, sir, for the question. I think that there are many goals of history, and certainly as you collect, as we do, examine evidence, create scholarship.
Is objectivity one of the goals of history?
There you go.
We strive to be objective and nonpartisan and not based on any
So
ideology.
it's one of the goals. Doesn't that seem a little bit concerning? It certainly does to me, because as part of this white supremacy document that your organization has promoted, objectivity is a core and defining aspect of white supremacy culture. Do you think that it's the goal of the Smithsonian Institution to promote white supremacy culture?
sir, do you mind?
Pause real quick.
Let's just pause it right there.
What?
What?
Like that's
What?
Yes.
Like actually, I'm like so like.
You're cringing for her.
Yes.
Listen, that was a softball.
Yes.
I mean, you know the energy was contradictory, but that was a soft. I mean, you're the history museum. Anything other than a yes is a no.
It's literally asking objectivity. Are we supposed to be subjective about history? Like, this is what I don't understand.
So he's going to go into more of the white supremacy part. We'll play that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't understand that either. And one thing, you know, she kind of goes, she's going to have some kind of explanation. It's going to be coming up, okay? But I think the most, I don't know if this is true, but maybe the answer that most folks would accept, if it's true, is, man, that's a big organization. I got a lot of folks that have a lot of creative ideas, and they don't always agree. And I'm just, this white supremacy thing, yeah, you're right. It ain't objective. How hard of an answer? No, how hard of an answer was that?
So easy.
Come on. People would accept that, but it has to be true.
And wait, if you're saying white supremacy is objective, are you saying white supremacists are right? That's what surprised me the most when I saw that.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I still don't know what position it is that they're taking, maybe because I just watched it real quick. But regardless, it's not objective.
No.
It's far from objective.
Yes.
And keep playing.
White supremacy culture right here. This is part of the mass action toolkit that your organization has promoted for several years now under your leadership.
She hasn't taken notes.
A white supremacy culture at the Smithsonian.
Still note taking. Still note taking. Yeah, she's thinking.
Is this a difficult question?
Fair to follow
sir,
up.
I'm just thinking about the mass action toolkit. We didn't
Pause.
develop it, but back to your.
No, sir. I'm just thinking of the most politically correct answer I can possibly make, and CYA. Again, just say. If this is true, people would accept it because it's understandable. Hey, it's a museum, guys. What do you expect? We're going to have a whole bunch of people thinking of some stuff, and I can't be everywhere. But when it came to my attention, I got that white supremacy stuff out, just like I got the child pornography out the libraries. Oh, that was my previous gig. This is all hypothetical. It's all hypothetical. Go ahead.
Well, let's move on to a break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the video.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasted from the KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, Lane, we got some stuff to talk about. First, I want to talk about my friends over there, Dr. Kevin and Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. You hear him every Wednesday. Sometimes we can get him in a little bit more if there's a little spicy topic. I don't even care if it's about wellness. I try to get him in. He's got a good mind, you know, very, very objective. So I'll tell you this, though. If you want to start feeling better, you want to start, and I'm talking, how can I explain it? You know when it's like genuine? it's like real? Is there some substance there? You won't, at least the program I went through, you won't feel it right off the bat, but it's like all of a sudden it just clicks and, almost like you feel lighter. But regardless, you have your own journey. I think that was a little TMI, maybe a little Lane. I don't know, but it helps and it can help you. 983-CARE, Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic here in Lafayette, Louisiana, right by STM. If you live outside of Acadiana or Louisiana and you want to do the remote therapy, remote treatment, you can do that too. Call 983-CARE, Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. All right, Lane, we were talking about this video. Okay, so we have the director, correct me if I'm wrong, director of the Smithsonian Museum of History, or maybe American history, but regardless, history, okay?
Yes.
You have Representative who?
Brandon Gill from the great state of Texas, which, might I remind you, is 5 times as big. It has 5 times less culture than the great state of
To
Louisiana.
all of our Texas audience, just know how much I love you. And Lane may be right.
Not maybe, I am right.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, man, I got, like, good friends in Texas.
Oh, I love Texas, but we
Yeah, I
just
love
have
Texas.
better culture.
Texas flies their state flag at the same height as the American flag. Oh, you don't like that.
Ooh, I didn't even know that.
So now there's even more of a wedge I just drove. What if you go to the Air Force Academy and your like roommates are all from Texas? How are you going to feel about yourself? They can pull this up.
Ooh, that's a good question.
See, I'm looking out for you, and you don't even know it.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell them hi, I guess, and I'll be nice. I'll
Yeah,
be a
'cause you're from
gentleman,
Louisiana.
support it, but I'll always remind them that Louisiana's better.
I love them all.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, now who are the players here again? Where's he from again? And what's his name?
Brandon Gill, Texas.
Brandon Gill, yeah, from Texas. That was why we got on all this conversation. Got it. All right. So, we were we were monitoring a little exchange they had. There was a question that Representative Gill from the great state of Texas was asking the director of the Museum of History in the Smithsonian system about history being objective. And do they strive to be objective? Well, no brainer. It should be an easy answer. The opposite of no. Like, it was such a question that you could answer that with your testimony, like the opposite of no. And that would have been acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it would have met the silliness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But moving on, that was a little difficult one for her. I get it. So then we bring up the white supremacy dialogue. You kind of have to know everything, I guess, to know the context. But then they were struggling with that. And we just ended, the Smithsonian was struggling with the objectivity analysis that was dealing with this particular piece. And we cut to a break at that point. So let's play the video a little bit more. And let's listen to this exchange again. This is happening in our Congress.
Good question. No, we're not promoting any ideology.
Does it concern you that your goal is objectivity? One of your goals is objectivity, and your mass action toolkit references objectivity as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture?
It's not our toolkit.
It is your toolkit. You've been promoting it for quite some time.
We did not come up with the toolkit, sir.
But you've been promoting it.
It is used as a reference, I believe, probably in 2019, 2020.
Yes, under your leadership, it is
Pause
used as a reference. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Oh, yeah, that's why I want to pause it. Yeah, we're going to go back. Oh, we're going back to Mickey Mouse being racist. You can't make that up. Do you see how hard it is for this lady to answer that question? This is who we have to deal with. This is what happened. I know this is the Smithsonian and it's not apples to apples, but that is the same mentality of a big federal bureaucracy. That's the mentality of big government. I know that's a big phrase. Get it? Big phrase, big government. But it's true. When you have that many people going unchecked because it's humanly impossible to check everything, like you get these guys that speak bureaucracy. I'm telling you, and the person that, if they're listening, knows. When I would go, we had a drainage meeting once a week, if not more, okay? And I had legal there, engineers there, all these people way smarter than me, okay? Just to kind of, because we were juggling a lot of projects, okay? And I would bring this one engineer, and he had his play, he had his part. but about 30% of his role was was translating engineerese to English, okay? And then the other parts were the legalese. And even though I'm a lawyer, I never practiced municipality law or any of this other stuff. So yeah, I needed some advice. But look, I just, that's what like this person needs. Like a translator to like, madam director, go outside and touch grass. And when you get back, I'm going to write like a tiny little sample of what this answer could be for your consideration, ma'am. And like just like when the white supremacy stuff that just came up, you manage a large operation. And it's a museum of history. You're going to have people that are passionate and strong-minded a lot of times, just like any other thing, okay? Of course you can't be everywhere all the time. That would have been an easy one for you to gain credibility with that body of government and the American people. And all you would have to say is, hey, that is we'll speak their language. That's deplorable. Is that fair? That's fair. That's a good. I'm just speaking the folks, meeting them where they're at. Just like the sustainability. Only 3 this year in the MPs in the budget. Sustainability. I guess most of it's numbers. Back to this. Look, how easy would it have been? I absolutely reject any and all of this project. When it came to my attention, I immediately called in the chain of command, made the necessary corrective actions, all of them, and we sincerely apologize. I think most folks, Lane, I think they get it.
Yeah.
I think they get it.
All right. I would think this is just common sense. Like, I don't know why this lady's struggling so much. And it just shows, like, whenever you get into this woke policy stuff, especially with our museums, which are supposed to be objective and represent America as a whole.
Like, history is supposed to be a mirror. Yeah. Good, bad, or ugly. Yeah. And yes, a lot of times the victor gets to write the story. I get it. But not so much in these days. Because we're so connected now that you can't just you can lie and get away with some things, but you can't do it as much. You can't, everybody's connected so much now. That's the best way I would say it. Which is great to a degree.
Well, let's go back to the video.
Yeah, all right, guys, hold on. If I gotta give a disclaimer, I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. If you are sensitive to Mickey Mouse, you are warned. All right, go ahead.
2020. Yes, under your leadership, it has been used as a reference. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian.
Before he goes on his explanation, she knew that answer really fast.
Yes!
Which I'm really proud of her for. But wait, just wait. It's about to get crazy.
Well, rewind a little bit. So, are you, that was good. Okay, go ahead.
So under your leadership, it has been used as a reference. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of long-standing traditions of blackface minstrelsy. Oh. Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tie directly.
Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelsy.
Minstrelsy, and you don't think that blackface minstrelsy is racist?
It had certain obvious racial overtones that have been well documented.
Do you think that's problematic that Mickey Mouse also has those racial overtones?
It's not for me to determine what's problematic. It's determined to me what's accurate.
All right, so they're just having fun at this point. Yeah. Does anything happen after this? I don't recall.
I don't recall either.
Yeah, but we could take away something here. When you're talking to that deep of a level of bureaucracy, I mean, honestly, if we measure it in that lens, she did all right.
Yeah.
But I'm laying, but that bar's low.
If we measure an inefficiency and not doing her job well, she did a 10 out of 10, A+. bonus points. She did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But if we were to grade her on ways we should grade her, objective, good answers, is actually performing well. Ooh, F minus.
Okay, so like, let me get this straight. That's about a total of 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, we got 3 questions answered. Well, really, we had 3 questions asked
Yes.
and 1 answer. Okay, that's what you're dealing with. You know? All right, so we're going to take us a tiny little break. When we get back, let's wrap up this subject. Maybe we have another video we can break down. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Guys, if you've been in the hospital, you've been under medical care, and you're recovering, and you may have some options. Just ask, okay? You may be a candidate for home health. So instead of recovering in the hospital, which is great, we got great hospitals here, wonderful hospitals here, okay? But if you may be eligible, all right, to actually do the same recovery, get the same level of care, but do it at your home, okay? Everybody wins. So call Audubon Home Health. That's who I want you to consider, Audubon Home Health. Just check them out, okay? Got some great folks out there, but you may be having an option you may have an option available to you that you just don't even know. So check them out. Audubon Home Health. Recover at home, recover in peace, recover with Audubon Home Health, right here in Acadiana. All right, guys, let's keep it on. So we have another video. Now on this one, I'm hearing it the same time you're hearing it, okay? But I don't think there's anything else we could talk about with the Smithsonian person. That was kind of remarkable.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I think at somebody at that level, I'm telling y'all though, that's a language. That's a language, and it only gets more entrenched the bigger the government grows. Yeah. Like, local level, yeah, you can fluff a little bit, and we poke fun at how many of those little buzzwords we can find. I'm sure I had buzzwords. They would just belong to a different philosophy. Anyway, all right, let's play this one. This is the president of the ABA. Yes. All right, so the American Bar Association. Here's the president. Now, do you know who's questioning? First time I'm hearing.
Same person, Representative Brandon Gill.
I'm liking old Representative Brandon Gill. And, I mean, that lady had to know. Like, come on, you should have been more prepared. And he can answer those questions. All right, let's see Representative Gill from Texas, talking to the American Bar Association president. All right, let's go.
Jack from Georgia. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you.
He's from Georgia.
Task force today, and I myself, as well as many of my constituents who are watching, reached out to let me know how impressed they were with your line of questioning. So, with that having been said, I'd like to yield the remainder of my time to our distinguished chairman, Mr. Gill.
Texas.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Ms. Binky, let's pick up where we left off before. The mission statement on the ABA's website states that our legal profession is enhanced when judges resemble the cultural groups that make up American society. How many Supreme Court justices have we had in American history?
I could not tell you for the...
We've had 116. Do you know, of those 116, how many of them have been transgender?
I have no idea.
Do you think there might have been one?
But press pause.
No idea.
Is it fair
Press
to say
pause. You have no idea. Now look, if this was a question of did we have any gay Supreme Court justices, of course you could throw that out there, okay? I don't know. But the question, if I heard it correctly, because it's kind of low for me over there, it was, did we have any transgender Supreme Court justices? And did I hear that right, Lane? The answer is no.
The lady says she does not know. How do you
I mean,
not know
this
this?
is, listen to me. The ABA has a very unique role with the judiciary and like rules, ethics and all that stuff. And I would say there's a relationship with the Supreme Court. I don't know what it is, but there's absolutely a connection. This is the American Bar Association. The question was, has there been any transgender justices in the Supreme Court? And the answer from the president of the American Bar Association, like without hesitation, I don't know. And, maybe thinking she did not kind of understand the question, see how I'm giving them all benefits of the doubt. He asked again, and the answer, see, she can answer a question. I don't know.
Well, I also think the craziest thing is every time there's a Supreme Court justice that gets nominated, the ABA goes through an evaluation process where they say qualified, not qualified, and unqualified. And, well, I mean,
yeah,
they don't know this information. This is what it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're going to say all this stuff, but you don't know this information. You're going to decide if someone's qualified, well qualified, or not qualified, but you don't know if they're transgender, all 116. You don't know if they're
not one. Let's keep playing it. Yeah, right. So,
but there have been no transgender Supreme Court justices in American history.
I honestly have no idea.
You don't know?
I have no idea.
You study the law, don't you?
We do not study the personal attributes of individual
That's fair.
justices.
Is there a Supreme Court justice in American history that you think might have been transgender?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Well, I think most people can assume that there haven't been any transgender Supreme Court justices. I hope that we can agree at least on that basis. Would that be okay to proceed under that assumption? Okay. I appreciate that.
Hold on. Press pause. Hold on. Now listen. We got to give the bars low on these bureaucrats. She retracted. Is that fair to say? I think she retracted. You can assume by the audio that, okay. Well, that's okay. Good. See that other lady? You answered the questions, and you at least allow him to get you to retract with some cover like that and some grace. Good. Keep going.
Transgenders haven't been represented on the Supreme Court. Do you think that it's important that the next Supreme Court justice be transgender?
The ABA does not subscribe to any particular quotas.
I'm not asking about a quota. I'm asking about representation, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
The ABA supports diversity in all of its forms. And
have transgenders been included on the U.S. Supreme Court?
The ABA supports the full spectrum of.
Do you think that it's a problem that the transgender community has never had representation on the U.S. Supreme Court?
The ABA believes in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And I'm asking you about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm asking you about inclusion of the transgender community.
We believe that people ought to bring their entire self to whatever role they're serving.
You're refusing to answer my question. Do you think that it's important that we have a transgender Supreme Court justice?
So we're going to hit a break here. But Lane, you got to give her credit. She's got the messaging. She doubled down. All right. I just think, again, I get it. It's tongue in cheek. Okay. We'll talk more about it. I know we're hitting a hard break. Let's take a little break. When we get back, me and you will talk a little bit more about it. Stick around. Family. So give them a call. Stan, we're brought to you by my honest friends over there at Stan's Auto. I'm telling you, man, they are honest because we were about to straight up buy 4 tires, and they talked us out of the other 2 and said, okay, we'll check it here, and we'd follow up and all that stuff. Just one of the many examples like they treat of them treating you like family. So give them a call. Stan's Auto, 2 locations, guys, 2 locations. One in Lafayette, right by Reds. One in New Iberia, servicing 2 wonderful communities and beyond. Stan's Auto. All right, Lane, let's keep up with this. Probably wrap up my thoughts on that last little video. We just wanted to give you some exchanges. It is a Friday, by the way. And just the absurdity that some of these discuss. Like, this is why most of the world sees this political stuff as just such a tiny little bubble. Okay, like a little tiny little ball, like a little tennis ball. You just bounce it. Okay, so small, but yet the actors in that ball, they're big. So you can kind of see where there might be some, I don't know. Like, you got 2 people in those exchanges that are talking to the masses. Is it really, really an intimate conversation? Is it really an objective conversation? No, it's all political. But those questions that the Representative Gill from Texas was asking was extremely fair. Yeah, he did it in a colorful way, but those are extremely. And if we would, I'll tell you this: what would have been great is ask those questions. That's his person. If that's his personality all the time, great. If it's not, then maybe asking a slightly more softer tone. And if she were to just answer them straight up, I would be amazed at where the conversation may go after that. But instead, we have to listen to videos and exchanges 3 minutes to get one question answered. Although this lady answered the question, I don't know. Which of course the lawyer would answer that. That's a great answer. If it's honest, if it's an honest answer, what a great answer. I don't know. You mean to tell me John Jay? Nah, who knows? I don't know. How can I speculate? See, that's when maybe someone could have told her, someone could have told her, like Joe Cunningham told me after my first episode, take the lawyer hat off. And he gave me some other advice. So, but really, like, take that lawyer hat off. And or actually, you know what? Be the lawyer that, I went to law school learning how to be, and you went to law school learning how to be. Be that lawyer. Be objective. Be able to take on that political conversation and rationally and calmly talk about the issue in an objective way. Had she answered those questions, it would have been a great conversation. You have something?
Right. So this really just shows the American Bar Association has liberal leanings. I think that's being nice. That's being nice.
What?
She out front said they support DEI, very liberal policies. You being in the legal field, do you see more liberals that are lawyers than conservative lawyers?
It really does. I'll give you a good lawyer answer. It depends. It depends on the practice. Okay, of course. You go to do criminal defense work, which I'm doing a lot more now that I see all this lawfare going on. You'd be amazed. I'm telling you, man, we got to keep some of these politicians on like real honest check. But anyway, you get some passionate. It depends. Left leaning. It's easy for me to say yes, but you gotta understand the crowds I hang around. I hang around a lot of 2A lawyers. I hang around a lot of family law attorneys. It's not that one's better than the other or more or not, but I will say, what we hear and know and see, yes, the ABA and lawyers as a whole tend to lean left. And I will, that's why it's a hard, and I'm just being honest, this is why it's a hard demographic for Trump to maybe win. Because it's not, his mannerisms do not reflect a normal setting of objective lawyers, at least. And most lawyers are objective. Most judges are. Most prosecutors aren't. Most. Golly. Yes.
Now, would you say that's the same experience you had in law school? Was law school liberal leaning? And teachers. Let's talk about your teachers.
I will say
as well
this.
as your students.
That's okay. And the students?
Yeah.
Let's go with professors. I will say this. I had several law professors express their liberal views. I had 0 law professors express conservative views. Does that help?
That does help.
Okay. And that's an honest statement. So I'm going to give a good answer. I don't know if there's any conservative law professors. She said she didn't know if there was any transgender Supreme Court justices.
Well, as a lawyer, you're giving a very honest answer. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Well, look, I really don't know. But, my gut tells me, all right, tell you this. My gut tells me, yes, my profession leans left. My heart tells me, no, we're too objective to really think that way. But I'm probably, if I had to think with my mind and not my heart, yeah, probably, but okay. But I will say this, from what I see of the left-leaning folks, most of them, I got some folks that are like in planet Pluto. But see, that would work either way, okay? All right.
Yeah, it's really far away.
Whatever. Most of the liberal causes that I see my fellow lawyers leaning in on is true passion, true advocacy, true wanting to help people and help people in need, okay? And yeah, there is a perception that the Democrat Party does that. And there is rhetoric from the Republicans in the past that it seems to shut the door. And I got to be careful too. Sometimes I say, like with the panhandlers, man, I don't know the solution, but I know what the solution is not. And it's not keeping them on our corners and our bus stops. Guys, that's all the time we got today. Man, thank you guys so much for sticking around. We had a great 2 hours. Be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.